Hello, friends. Welcome to this week's edition of It's Monday. What are you reading? I had a great week of reading. It was really, really well. I feel like the last 2 or 3 weeks of reading have been way better than they had been throughout the fall. So I really feel like I'm starting to get into a groove. I have 4 books that I want to talk about today, 3 books that I read last week, and the book that I am currently reading. I'm very, very excited. The first book that I finished last week was Enginerds. It's by Jarrett, Lerner. It's an absolute fantastic book. The thing that I love the most about this book has nothing to do with the story. It has nothing to do with, it only has just one reason, and it's because my son is loving it. And one of the cool things about teaching 5th grade at Parma Elementary is that I have my son in my class, and my son, he reads a lot. He's a great reader. He is addicted to graphic novels. He has read so many books over the years. But this book he keeps wanting to talk to me about. Like today I was actually in a reading conference with another student, and he just comes up and sits next to me and puts his head on my shoulder and just waited until I was done with that student and then wanted to talk about Engineers. What's better than that? What is better than having your kid in class and him coming up and being patient and waiting and then wanting to talk about pooping robots? It just doesn't get any better than that. So Engineers, I love Engineers. They're very short chapters. I think there is an average of a new chapter every 3 pages, I think it's between 2 and 3 pages, every 2.8 pages or something. I did the calculation, but the chapters are really short. Kids are really digging it. I think 3 or 4 kids have already read it in my class. Engineers, I love this. So these kids are part of this club called the Enginerds. You just listen to their motto, because it's the nerds who are the engine of the world. Engineers, you're gonna and there's another one coming. And how do I know that? Because it says so right here. It says, look for another epic Engineers adventure coming soon. It's coming soon. I don't know what that means, but soon enough, I hope. Very soon. All right, the second book that I finished this week, I finished it last night. It is called Greetings from Witness Protection. I love this book so much. It is by Burt, who is also a 5th grade teacher. Jake, this book is phenomenal. Nikki is one of my favorite characters that I have read this entire year. She is just amazing. She is what makes middle grade fiction amazing. She is an amazing character that readers will just fall in love with. She is not perfect. She makes mistakes, but she is just like the glue that holds this book together. I love it. I love it so much. It's such a good book. Greetings from Witness Protection. You have to read this book. So basically, this family right here, I don't know how I did it. So this family right here, this family right here, a dad, a mom, and a husband, a woman, a male, and their child. There's something that happens in their family, and the mom has to testify in court, and bad things happen, people want to kill her. So they also want to kill the whole family. They're really mad. So they have to go into witness protection. And so people are looking for a family with a husband, I can't go backwards, a wife and a son. So the U.S. Marshals decide that wouldn't it be great if we added a daughter to the family, then people wouldn't be able to find him. And it is her book, and she is just phenomenal. And she brings the whole thing together. She steals things like a kleptomaniac, I think. Kleptomania. She steals lots of things. She's a magical pickpocketer, and she steals things. She's been through lots of foster homes, but she thinks she's willing to start her life over and try to be a part of this family. And she's just amazing. You're going to love her. Obviously, the brother is having a hard time with the new sister calling them mom and dad, and he's having a hard time adjusting to his new life. But it's absolutely an absolute phenomenal book. One of my favorite books of the entire year. I love this book. And really interesting. There was 20 pages left. And I'm I have no idea how he's going to finish this book. I have no idea. There's so much left that I want to know in this book. How is this book going to be finished in these last 20 pages? And he did it. And it was amazing. There's just one part too, with 60 pages left that you're just going to cry buckets. It's so good. You're just going to cry. So just be prepared. It's around page 280. It's so good. It's probably my favorite moment in any book this year. So good. All right. The next book that I want to talk about is Grandma Gatewood Hikes the Appalachian Trail. by Jennifer Thermes. And I think that's how you say it, is Jennifer Thermes. I actually have teachingbooks.net open on my computer so you can hear how they say it. I hope I said it right. I should. I just looked at it. Check out this case. It's just gorgeous. Isn't that beautiful? This book is awesome. I just read it to my students. It's about this wonderful, amazing woman who hikes the Appalachian Trail. She raises her family. She does all of these things for other people. And then she just decides she's going to go walk 2,190 miles. I think that's what it is, something crazy like that. And she just does it. She just got like a homemade sack and some shoes. And she goes on this crazy journey. And it's really cool to see the people who help her on the way. Let me just show you just a little bit so you can kind of get a feel for the art. One thing that I thought was really, really fascinating in this book is throughout they have these pages where you see like a map and you get like some different facts on the Appalachian Trail. I really thought that added a ton to the book. I really, really love that. Love this picture book. It comes out in 2018. I don't know when, but it comes out next year. It's from Abrams. It's gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. The book that I'm currently reading is Road Trip with Max and His Mom. It's by Linda Urban. It's illustrated by Katie Kath. It's so good. Linda Urban is such an amazing writer. Like, I just read it and I just like reread paragraphs. I'm like, oh my gosh, like how does she find ways to string words together, to string paragraphs together, to string chapters together, to string beautiful books together? This book is blowing my mind. I'm 2/3 done. It's broken into 3 parts, just like the first book in the series, Weekends with Max and his dad. But in this book, Max and his mom are going on a road trip. And Max actually starts out pretty nervous because he's worried about leaving his dad behind. And he's just such a nice boy. I love him. I love his heart. I love his soul. I love these books so very, very much. Oh, my bookmark. I don't know if you guys do this. I have to call my insurance and give them the Social Security number to my son who was born like 9 months ago. I'm really bad at remembering that sort of thing. So the best way, here's a tip. If you're a big reader, the best way to remember to do something, the absolute foolproof way to do something, to remember to do something, is to use the paper that reminds you as your bookmark. Because then every time you go to read and you're really excited to read, you're like, oh, I have to take care of this. And you don't want to be like, oh, when you're going to read a book, so you'll eventually take care of it. In theory. I still haven't called with the insurance number. Anyways, all of these wonderful books, people, you need to read them all. If you haven't read them, I would love to know what you're reading. Leave a comment. Tell me what books you're reading or what books you're excited to read. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful day and happy reading.